economy that works for everybody. Through bold actions like this one, we're taking that vision to reality. This is what it looks like when America comes together to get something done. And by the way, in your home, you know, the batteries that we have now, and they're getting more and more sophisticated. You know, a lightning storm takes out all the electricity in the house. Guess what? You can plug your car into the house and make it light up. You think I'm joking. It's a little simplistic, but literally you can. Literally you can. Oh, this summer, it really is kind of exciting. I get a little... This summer... Well, if anybody think if we were doing it for the first time now in the 21st century, going into the 20th, from the 20th century going into the second quarter of the 21st century, that we'd say 12 years is enough? Think 12 years is enough going into 20, 30, 40, 50? He promised to have an infrastructure week. For 4 years he promised infrastructure. It became a laugh line. Well, guess what? In the last 6 months, while the rest of the country is going through hell. And Lonnie was convinced, not by me, but convinced by circumstance, that the future of labor was in the future, was about what we have to do to deal with climate. And we invested. And all the way from, I was just up at IBM, up in upstate New York. And for example, the ones down for Intel, when they get these factories built, or up, I'm going to leave somebody out, so I won't name them all. But you know, non-college, without a college degree. In August, we passed the Inflation Reduction Act, investing $360 billion in clean energy. There'll be more to come, I believe. So the Inflation Reduction Act is the biggest investment ever in climate, ever in the history of the world in climate. Because I don't want to get started, because I'm really excited about all this. The country's been through a tough 4 or 5 years, and folks are still hurting. What? Inflation is still hurting people. But we're making real progress.
From here.
In his speech yesterday in Florida, the president suggested that shutdowns and default are likely outcomes if the Republicans take control of the House of Representatives and he doesn't agree with their demands on Social Security and Medicare. To what extent should Americans be braced for those outcomes?
I mean, the president is saying that because Republicans are saying that. Republicans in Congress have been very, very clear that if they do not put Medicare and Social Security on the chopping block. Apologies for the late start. It's been a busy day, so I apologize. The in-town pool is going to have to gather about 2:05, and so I will stay beyond that time as long as we can. But again, apologies for starting late.
And national organizations.
I'm going to let folks get up for a second. I know people have to gather.
You're going to the event, they're not walking.
No, it's clear. I know. Kelly, you're always very sensitive to that because people are watching.
Walking out on you.
And it's okay. I'm not that sensitive.